Mighty Ravishing. There you go. Yorion, the Sky Nomad. Yeah, unfortunately, due to Wansi's uh, thought process, Yorion is no more. It got banned today. Got the ban hammer in modern. Now you're gonna go, hell, Dwight. Oh, uh, uh, you forgot about standard. Well, Meat Hook Massacre. Okay, Meat Hook Massacre is gone in standard. I don't know about you. I don't play no standard. Sorry. If I'm going to invest in a in a format, I'm investing in Pioneer and I'm investing in Modern. I do have a couple decks in Pauper. I do admit that. Command there, I have a love hate relationship. But Modern, that's my baby. That's what I try to foil out. And yes, I did have a complete full art, complete extent borderless art foil Yorion Sky Nomad because my friend D Star from Sweden, he actually kicked names and took gas with his Yorion Spirit deck. It actually came out of nowhere. People were surprised, and he just kept on winning and winning with it. And it became the, taste of the town. It was the flavor of the month. And then obviously, then it disappeared. But then once again, spirits started slipping away. It was like a type 1 deck, and then all of a sudden it went type 3. Now it's back in type 2 world. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna make the comeuppance, and maybe on Uran's the way to go. And then once he just that's the crickets. It's the crickets, unfortunately. But Yurion, Ravishing, why don't you read us what Wanty said about Yurion? Yes, you can read that, please.
Okay. Modern has been in a healthy place since the last banned and restricted update, with good diversity among archetypes and even the most popular competitive decks occupying a relatively small slice of the metagame, about 5 to 6% each on Magic Online. However, as tabletop modern play continues to be rebound since the height of the pandemic, we've decided to enact a change that's been considering for some time by banning Yorion Sky Nomad. Yorion must commonly appear as a companion in 4-color Omnith decks, which shows a strong win rate and, according to our match update, are likely to continue to rise in popularity. In addition to game balance concerns with the deck, we're also factoring in the physical dexterity requirements of playing with a large deck for tabletop. We're wary of the metagame reaching a point where players are playing the deck because of its perceived strength and win rate, despite not enjoying how cumbersome it can be to operate. While these physical dexterity issues exist to a lesser degree in other formats like Pioneer, Modern specifically entails more shuffling and other physical card manipulation because of the deep card pool of card selected spells, fetch lands, and soon. Cards encouraging large decks like Battle of Wits must exist in the past, but usually on the fringes of competitive play rather than as one of the strongest decks. Finally, we've also heard from many players that the repeated triggers caused by Yorion and many of the cards surrounding it can lead to repetitive gameplay patterns and long games with lots of downtime between the other players' actions. It's important that the next player experiences playing with the table decks in a fun way, and while we're okay with such decks existing, it can make the format less enjoyable when these patterns are associated with one of the strongest decks over a long period of time. Therefore, to make Modern as much fun as and accessible it can be for all types of players, Yorion Sky Nomad is banned in Modern.
Oh, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Yorion is no more. For those who don't know Yorion, you see it on your screen, but I'll read it to you if you're listening on Spotify, Google, or Apple Podcast. Yorion Sky Nomad reads 3 generic and a hybrid mana of white and blue. That's 2 of those twins. It's a legendary creature, bird serpent. It's a 4/5, and it has companion. You start your deck containing at least 20 cards more than your minimum deck. Now, mind you, it starts on the outside. Then you're going to pay certain mana to have him come back into your hand so you can play. It's flying. Now, this is the part that it pisses people off. When Yorion enters the battlefield, ready? Exile any number of non-land permanents you own and control. So they're on the battlefield. Boop, boop, they're gone. Return those permanents onto the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. So, boom, your end step comes. Guess what? Because they're playing four-color Omnath, obviously they're playing, I don't know, elementals. Use evoke elementals, and when those evoke elementals come into play, they usually do certain things like, I don't know, Solitude basically does the Sword to Plowsharer, Fury destroys creatures left and right, Endurance removes cards from your graveyard, so on and so forth with Grief, and then also Subtlety. Yeah, I understand completely why WotC did it. For me, Omnath is a long, drawn out deck. To call it a mid range deck is not far fetched, but it's a controlled. It's a mid range control deck. That's how I classify it, just because the fact that it has answers for everything. Money pile. That's the nickname for this deck, and I truly, it's one of the decks that I loathe the most when I play a game against, and honestly and realistically, it's not fun. Spirits, to me, as a Spirit player, is a expert player with Spirits. Spirits is a fair deck. It plays right down the middle. It's basically play creatures. My creatures interact with your play board, and guess what? I come in and smash you in the face. The only difference is the benefit is that some of my creatures have flash, and I can play it on your turn. This is just full. I hate you. I hate your deck. Why did you play? So I applaud WotC for getting rid of it, but unfortunately, at the same time, it really takes a potential deck away from us, the Spirit players, because there was Yorion Spirits, and it did so well, and now it's into the aether. It's gone. It's aloha means hello and goodbye. And so long, my friend Yorion, for being there for the quick moment, especially for D Star, basically shocking the world. But the fact that, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. And remember, the next time you're kicking your opponent's ass, make sure they say, that's bullshit.